Here, the head of an anti-monarchy group who was arrested before a planned protest on Coronation Day has called the detention of him and dozens of others a direct attack on our democracy. Graham Smith, who was released on Saturday night after nearly 16 hours in police custody, said officers should hang their heads in shame. The Culture Secretary, Lucy Fraser, has backed the Metropolitan Police following criticism of the arrest of more than 50 people yesterday. Robin Brandt has the latest.
As tens of thousands celebrated and cheered yesterday, some protested and booed. But before it got to that, anti-monarchy campaigners had already been targeted by police. Some were arrested, their placards confiscated. Graham Smith from the group Republic was one of them.
They were hoping to stop us from staging a large peaceful protest on the edge of the coronation. I think that was a spectacularly poor decision for all sorts of reasons, not least because there was no grounds for arresting us. And it is an affront to democracy, an attack on our rights.
52 people in all were taken in, some like Mr. Smith under a controversial new law, the Public Order Act. It gives police new powers to proactively target people they think are planning to disrupt. But using those powers was justified, according to a cabinet minister.
They will have made operational decisions on a case-by-case basis as to what steps they should have taken. And I know that they took into account, and I think they were quite right to take into account, the context of the event as a whole. We were on the global stage. There were 200 foreign dignitaries in the UK, in London, at an event.
The Commissioner of London's Met Police was out with a distinctly peaceful bunch for lunch today. His force said its focus yesterday wasn't protesters, but potential disruptors. It said it had received intelligence about plans to deface monuments or disrupt the coronation procession. Labour wants more of an explanation, though.
People can disagree, and disagree well, I hope. And I think it's for the Met to explain the arrests and make sure they got the balance right. And as we've seen, if they didn't get it right, I think the Casey review demonstrates important to hold your hands up.
Well, obviously, no one likes to be arrested.
The senior officer in charge of the security operation said the context of these arrests was key.
Democracy, not monarchy!
But with a former chief constable warning about the spectre of a totalitarian police state, the Met's now fending off claims it acted like counterparts in Moscow. Robin Brandt, BBC News.
Moscow has accused Ukraine and its Western allies of being behind a car bomb that wounded a prominent Russian writer.